Gerald, it's true. I mean, the current American educational system really is a 19th century operation kept in existence by massive federal subsidies, which of course have benefited the administrators and the faculty, hurt the students who have to take on this huge debt. And for what? I mean, they come out, as you say, equipped for Zippo as far as earning a living in the current situation. And in my view, they never make up the 4 years that they spent, or 5 years or 6 years at the college. So my own guess is that there are radical changes coming to education. I think it's very necessary. I think it's going to be one of the, if I can make my own trend prediction, I think that the current educational system, no matter what Obama talks about in terms of more student subsidies, kids are realizing, boys especially, the boy element of college and university enrollment is dropping. And I think they're going to be in trouble. They should be in trouble. We need fewer colleges and universities, just like we need fewer automobiles and fewer houses in order to correct the boom.
And fewer strip malls and regional malls and big malls. And that's where you're going to see the next collapse happen. We already saw it with General Growth, the second largest mall developer. And by the way, I was a keynote speaker at International Council of Shopping Center meetings in 2007. And we had predicted back then that this was going to happen. We called back in 2007 the panic of '08. And of course, you know, they wanted to believe that there was only going to be happy days ahead. So we're going to see the commercial real estate sector really unravel. And as you well point out, just like we're overhoused, overstored, we're over-college built, and all of this stupidity of having these huge university teams in baseball, basketball, and whatever sport, football, that's not what college is supposed to teach you, not entertain you. So they way overbuilt in stadiums and exorbitant salaries for these staff of coaches, etc., at a time when they should have been building brains.
Boy, exactly right. Now, Gerald, if people have ears to hear and eyes to see, they're going to realize, if they don't already realize, that the federal government, the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, Wall Street have done them wrong and have been a total failure from the standpoint of the average American. Does this mean that the government itself might be in jeopardy?
Yes, we're looking for a new third party to develop. We're also calling for an intellectual revolution. People better wise up and stop dumbing down. It's very simple, Lou. Everyone just close your eyes for a moment. Transport yourself back to either high school or college. And remember the people that you couldn't stand back then, that were the brown-nosers, the people that were dying to become president or head of the student council. Well, these are the people that are now telling us what to do. It's the same group. And I don't know why people are looking up to Pelosi's, Bonners, Bonds, Franks, Dodds. How about Mo, Larry, and Curly? I mean, these are the same people that we knew as we were growing up, the Larry Summers that we couldn't stand, that are now being painted by the media as brilliant and intelligent and visionaries. So people have to really understand who they are so that they can then look at what they're being fed and start to think for themselves and tune off these big-mouthed broadcasters that are such blowhards that are telling people how to think and what to do, and think for yourself. And by the way, these tax revolts that happened, as again, we had predicted this would happen back in 2007. Tax revolts was one of our major trends. And what this is, history has been made. It has nothing to do with Republicans or right-wingers. It has to do with people that don't have money to pay more property taxes, sales taxes, school taxes. They're being taxed to death.
Gerald, you mentioned 25% unemployment coming, and of course that's what we had in the Great Depression. But I somehow think in the Great Depression, Americans were better people. So now we know that maybe socially there's been a decline. Should you arm yourself? Should you worry about living in a big city?
Well, I'm a believer of Second Amendment rights. And yes, I would believe so. I think everyone, well, I could tell you, as we're speaking, we're in Kingston, New York, and the bank right around the corner, the Key Bank, a bank, by the way, that I had trouble getting my money out of when I wanted to make large withdrawals because I don't trust the banks, this bank particularly. I could hit this place with a stone. They robbed it a couple of weeks ago on a Friday, and then they robbed it again on a Tuesday. This is Little Kingston, New York. The guy across the street, his little coffee shop, he got robbed. And so the kind of businesses, by the way, that are going to be growth businesses are going to be anything to do with self-protection, gates on buildings, bulletproof glass, you name it, anything having to do with survival and self-defense and self-protection is going to be big business in the future. New York City is going to look like Mexico City come years ahead as more and more kidnappings take place and the angry and the uneducated move into more crimes and live violent lives in order to survive.
Gerald Celente, thanks so much for telling us about the trends. Thanks you for all you've done to warn Americans in years past and you're doing right now. I want to urge everybody to go to the Trends Research Institute, take a look at trendsresearch.com. Gerald Celente, thanks a million.
Thank you, Lou.
You've been listening to The Lew Rockwell Show, produced by LewRockwell.com, the best-read libertarian website in the world. Thanks for listening.